Pete Davidson has always been a walking headline, whether it's his whirlwind romances, brutally honest stand-up, or raw mental health battles. But nothing could have prepared fans for what just happened. The once troubled comic, known for chaos and controversy, is now stepping into a completely new role: fatherhood. That's right. After years of spiraling, surviving, and somehow staying in the spotlight, Pete is about to become a dad. And according to those closest to him, he's not just ready, he's so excited. But behind this sweet announcement lies a story far deeper than just baby news. Because to understand what this moment really means for Pete, you need to understand everything he's been through to get here. Long before baby news made the rounds, Pete Davidson's life played out like a never-ending tabloid saga. He wasn't just a comedian on Saturday Night Live, he was the guy everyone was talking about for all the wrong reasons. Public breakups, rehab stints, tweets that sparked concern. For years, it felt like Pete was spiraling in plain sight. He opened up about battling depression, borderline personality disorder, and addiction. And while fans admired his brutal honesty, others questioned whether he could hold it together at all. One moment he was making headlines for dating Ariana Grande, the next, he was being rushed to a psychiatric facility. In 2018, even he admitted he didn't think he'd live past 30. But that version of Pete, chaotic, impulsive, and lost, wasn't the full story. Because beneath the meltdowns and the jokes was a guy desperately trying to heal. And as he started to pull himself together, something surprising began to emerge: a quiet, persistent dream that he'd never quite let go of. While the world focused on Pete's chaos, few noticed the one thing he kept mentioning quietly, almost like a secret wish: he wanted to be a dad. Back in 2022, during an episode of Heart to Heart with Kevin Hart, Pete dropped a line that caught people off guard. "My favorite thing ever, which I'm yet to achieve, is I want to have a kid," he said. It wasn't part of a joke or a punchline. It was real. "It's super corny," he laughed, "but it would be so fun to dress up a little dude." Coming from someone known for unpredictable relationships and mental health battles, it sounded almost too innocent, but it stuck. He went on to say that he was already working on himself so that, when the time came, he'd be ready. "Trying to be good as a dude," he said. "Develop and get better so when that happens it's easier." It wasn't just a passing thought. It was a blueprint for the next version of Pete Davidson. What no one knew back then was that the woman who'd helped bring that dream to life was already about to enter the picture. By the time Pete Davidson was linked to Elsie Hewitt, most people rolled their eyes. Another model? Another rebound? But this time, something was different. Elsie wasn't chasing the spotlight. She wasn't a headline hunter or social media provocateur. A model and actress with a calm presence and low-key lifestyle, Elsie wasn't the typical Pete tabloid storyline. And that's exactly why she stood out. Their relationship first went public in March 2025, when the two were spotted in Palm Beach, Florida, swimming in the ocean and stealing kisses in front of paparazzi lenses. But behind the photos was something serious already forming. Just 2 months later, insiders confirmed the pair had moved in together, splitting time between Pete's house in upstate New York and a rented brownstone in Brooklyn. No flashy PR stunts, no attention-grabbing interviews. Just two people quietly building a life together. Those close to them say that for Pete, this relationship felt different. With Elsie, there were no games. No clout chasing. No chaos. Just something he hadn't had in years: peace. And that peace laid the foundation for the biggest decision of his life. People who know Pete Davidson now barely recognize the guy who made headlines just a few years ago. According to insiders, Pete has undergone a real transformation, one that goes far beyond just dating someone new. He's more intentional about who he lets into his life, a close source reveals. No longer the wild card chasing attention, Pete is focused on stability, growth, and building genuine connections. With Elsie, it's been about substance, not spectacle. Since moving in together, Pete has balanced life between his upstate New York home and a Brooklyn brownstone. That dual lifestyle reflects a man who's trying to ground himself in nature, in the city, in privacy, and community. He's grown up a lot, the source says. This isn't just a phase or a headline grab. It's a real chapter. that shift hasn't gone unnoticed. Friends say Pete's mental health is stronger, his outlook clearer, and his goals more defined. Becoming a father isn't a distant dream anymore, it's something very real, and very close. But if Pete's new life feels like a fresh start, it's also a new challenge. Because the next step is one he's been waiting for, and it's about to change everything. On July 16, 2025, the news broke Elsie Hewitt is pregnant. Pete Davidson is about to become a dad for the very first time. Insiders say Pete is so excited, more than anyone could have expected. This isn't just another headline, it's the realization of a long-held dream. After years of ups and downs, the comedian is stepping into a role he's been quietly preparing for. They're both nurturing people, a source says, and it's a really sweet time after everything Pete has overcome. The baby isn't just a new life, it's a symbol of growth, healing, and hope. For Pete, this moment is everything. It means moving past the chaos and embracing responsibility, love, and family. It means building a future that's more than just laugh or fame, it's legacy. And while the spotlight is unavoidable, this chapter feels different. More private. More real. Because this time, Pete isn't just the headline. He's the dad. Fatherhood can change anyone, but with Pete Davidson, fans and critics are divided. Is this the redemption arc he desperately needs, or could it bring new challenges? Pete's history of mental health struggles and high-profile chaos makes some wonder if he's truly ready for the responsibility. The public has seen him at his best and worst, and questions linger. Can he stay grounded now? Will fatherhood anchor him, or will the pressures push him back? But those closest to him remain hopeful. Friends and insiders insist this is the healthiest and most focused Pete has ever been. He's taking this seriously, they say. This isn't just for show. He's ready to be the dad he always wanted. It's a turning point not just for Pete, but for anyone who's watched him fight his demons in real time. This next chapter might be his most important one yet. From the chaotic headlines and public meltdowns to this moment of calm and anticipation, Pete Davidson's journey has been anything but predictable. The guy who once seemed destined for self-destruction is now stepping into fatherhood, a role he's openly dreamed of for years. He's no longer chasing the spotlight or fleeting fame. Instead, he's building something real, something that could redefine his life entirely. Whether fatherhood will be the anchor that keeps him steady, or just another twist in his complex story, only time will tell. But one thing is clear, Pete Davidson is growing up, evolving, and ready to face what comes next. And for millions watching, that's a story worth following.